Gauteng counterintelligence operations, not the political killings trust team. But here we are. Who's part of this Gauteng counterintelligence? It's the very same person who's part of the team. And this person, coincidentally, on the structure which I displayed on the first day, it reports to one person, Gerald Spear. The very same person, in terms of the structure, must communicate with Gerald Spear to the National Commission. In his investigation on organized crime, he sees some linkages and names of Spear that come into the picture. The members that are busy with this investigation, they are engaging with some senior officers in Gauteng that are socializing with some of these drug dealers. And that becomes risky. Now it's within counterintelligence. So when we see the member of parliament who claims in publicly that he was minding his business and next thing underneath his door, there was a report from crime intelligence that flew into under his door. He took that report and he went to a police station to open a case. Jarkuman is going to come and present the details about that because there is already an evidence of a communication between a member of parliament and members of crime intelligence, specific Gerald Khan, and the Inspector General of Intelligence, who is the anchor in all this.
That then I think that takes care of paragraphs 2 and 3. We deal with paragraph 2.5 in the subpoena, which reads thus: required you to address, quote, allegations concerning the existence of a quote-unquote IDAC cabal in SAPS and your role pursuant thereto, as made by Mr. Thulani Shongwe during his evidence at the Commission on the 30th of June 2026, close quote. You deal with that from your paragraph 15 at page 6 of your supplementary statement.
At paragraph 2.5, I have no knowledge of the existence of a Khan IDAC cabal in SAPS. I also have no knowledge of a Khan IDAC cabal within the IDAC. It follows that if such a cabal exists, I am not party to it. I have not authorized, encouraged, or facilitated its existence, nor have I benefited from any unlawful association involving General Khan, IDAC, SAPS officials, or any other person. To the extent that Mr. Thulani Shongwe's evidence suggests otherwise, I deny that suggestion.
And thank you. That will then take us to, I think your answer is straightforward and clear. Paragraph 2.6 of the subpoena, which reads thus, I quote, your relationship with Major General Khan and allegations that you disclosed to General Khan and SAPS docket relating to an ongoing criminal investigation against him, close quote. You deal with that paragraph 2.6, starting from your paragraph 16 at page 7. If you could turn to that, please.
At paragraph 2.6, I know Major General Khan, as a general based at Crime Intelligence Head Office. Before I became the investigating director in March 2022, I engaged with him in meetings with other stakeholders, attended net joints or other SAPS meetings at which he was present and to which I had been invited by relevant component heads, deputy national commissioners or divisional commissioners. In late 2024, media reports emerged concerning General Khan's alleged involvement with persons allegedly linked to the Murray murders. Those reports concerned me because I had previously met with one of the Murray sons who wanted to know whether IDAC could assist with the investigation. I informed him that IDAC could not assist, but explained how he could escalate his concerns about the investigation to SAPS management. At that stage, the concerns of the Murray's son referred to above related to how SAPS organized crime Gauteng was dealing with the matter. 18, I later encountered General Khan at a Public Service Commission or Department of Public Service and Administration workshop. I asked to speak to him and told him that the media reports about his alleged involvement with persons linked to the Murray murders were concerning. I further stated that if evidence of criminality by him were brought to IDAC, it would be dealt with in accordance with the law. 19, After the engagement referred to above, I had very limited contact with General Khan, and I've had no contact with him for approximately the past year and a half. The allegation referred to above is also vague and unsupported by particulars. No particulars have been provided as to who made the allegations, which docket is implicated, when or where the alleged disclosure occurred, how the docket was allegedly disclosed, or what information was allegedly conveyed. This is a serious allegation to make against a person holding as high a position of responsibility as I do, so that Chair, would justifiably have expected particularity to accompany the allegations for any meaningful engagement with them. Should I be required to answer questions arising from this affidavit or any other matters in respect of which it is determined that I may assist the Commission, I am willing to make myself available, subject to reasonable notice, access to sufficient evidential material to which I am required to respond, and my rights to legal representation. That ends the affidavit.
Thank you. Just two questions for clarity. At paragraph 16, you do state that you know Major General Khan as a general based at Crime Intelligence Head Office. Before I became the investigating director in March, I engaged with him in meetings with other stakeholders. So we are now before you joined IDAC. Did you have any other relationship besides that you describe at paragraph 16 with General Khan, personal
Yes.
or otherwise?
I had gotten to know him quite well. At a stage, we engaged often on all kinds of issues that didn't necessarily relate to work. He was very affable, and I got along with him. So I would talk to him as well outside of meetings. It wasn't confined to meetings.
That's an important distinction to draw, because your paragraph 16 seems to suggest that your engagements with him prior to 2022 were in meetings and with other stakeholders only. It's too restrictive what's said in 16 regard being head to your response now.
And we can add it.
No, the record, it's there on record. So I say, we clarified that you had this professional relationship as you describe in 16, but you also had a personal relationship with
Yes,
him.
I did.
You say you then you have a specific timeline to it, say before I became investigating director in March 2022. Let's get past March 2022. The relationship, as you have now clarified, with General Khan, did it change? What's the relevance of using that marker, March 22, when you became ID, to speaking to the relationship you have with General Khan? It suggests, as I read it, that it drastically changed from March 2022. Am I reading it correctly? And yet, I take into consideration what you say at your paragraph 19. You say you have had limited contact with him and have had no contact with him approximately the past year and a half. It's now 2026, but your cutoff date there is March 22. I don't know. Where were you on April 2022 until a year and a half before 2026? So far as your relationship is concerned. Thanks.
So if we're taking it from March 2022, I continued to talk to General Khan.
Yes.
It is only late in 2024 when this issue of Mr. Murray arose, because Mr. Murray came to see me personally. It had been a very painful engagement. And it was then that I raised the issue with him, and I slowly started to withdraw. I didn't stop talking to him completely, but if I have to cast my mind back, that's why I say past year and a half, which would have been from very early 2025.
Okay. And you say that in 2024, after you met Mr. Murray, you started to withdraw. I take it from a closer relationship with General Khan.
Yes.
If I may, why? What is the relevance of that matter to the change in your relationship with General Khan?
Here I get to engage a victim who's lost his father and his brother in a very violent way.
Yes.
It is very difficult, commissioners, when you are sitting with a child who is now parentless and brotherless. He is raw of emotion sitting in front of you. But it's not just the emotion. It is the complaint about the police not doing their work. And he sat there hoping that we were able to help him. And it was unfortunate. It is not in our mandate. But it touched me in a different way, in a very humane way. And it made what he was saying more real. I wasn't reading this in papers. I wasn't hearing stories. I was hearing from a child. Well, he's a young man, but I was hearing this from a child. And there is no way when you have that engagement that you are able to just shut it down and, okay, this is what you go and do, and then you just carry on. It had an impact. And I think it was for those reasons. It really had a humane impact that I was unable to assist him. And the allegation he made was very serious. And so he was accompanied by a friend, and I told him and the friend they would definitely have to take this up with the head of detectives at the time.
So then I understand, just to wrap up, that your relationship with General Khan was adversely influenced by the allegations made to you as regards his alleged involvement by Mr. Murray. That's what altered the course of your relationship.
Yes.
Okay.
Because he was explicit about where he felt Mr. Khan was involved and persons he was involved with. It's names I'm prepared to write, but he made very pertinent referrals.
Yes. And do you know whether he took up your advice, just as a matter of interest? I think you said you suggested that he engaged SAP's organized crime Gauteng.
Yes, there was a time when he did make contact with me again to indicate that the detectives had allocated a new team.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it ended up being to his satisfaction, as I am aware that there haven't been arrests made on the matter, but I am aware, Commissioner Khumalo, that he did follow up that, and I'm aware that they actually had a proper engagement with him. I'm not sure where that engagement is now, given there's no arrests in the matter.
Understood. And lastly, at your paragraph 20, this in response to...
Yes, maybe before you do 20, just so I make sure I understand, at that paragraph 16 and following, where you say you continue to speak to General Khan after March 2022, does that mean you socialized with him? What does that mean? Because
No,
you could be talking about work, you could be talking about family, friends, you could be meeting for lunch. What exactly do you mean when you say you continue to talk to him outside of meetings?
So we would chat on WhatsApp, or we would talk to one another if we saw one another, but we didn't socialize, in the word socialize, so we didn't go to lunch, visit one another, etc.
But you had non-work related interactions.
Non-work related interactions.
Thank you.
Yes.
I might be mistaken, but I think at some point we had evidence that you attended his 50th or 55th birthday party.
That is
Was
correct.
it after this date?
No, sir.
When was that?
Oh, I speak under correction. I don't know when he turned 50. It might have been in 2020 or 2019. But it was, he invited my husband who worked at Crime Intelligence, and when we got there, most people who had been invited with their partners or spouses. And we attended the birthday, attended the dinner. We probably were the most ungracious guests because it was very busy. And as soon as we had dinner, I said to my husband, can we leave? And we didn't even greet the host. We had left, but we did attend it, my husband having been invited, and I attended.
And I take it you were invited to that birthday party because you already had a personal relationship with him?
Yes, he knew both my husband and I, yes. He knew me as well.
Okay. Lastly, I wanted to deal with paragraph 20. You recall that paragraph 2.6 of the subpoena required you to speak to your relationship with Major General Khan generally, and specifically address the allegations that you disclosed to him an SAPS docket relating to an ongoing criminal investigation against him. Now, it says an ongoing criminal investigation. I read one investigation. Your response is at paragraph 20, the allegation referred to above is also vague and unsupported by particulars. No particulars have been provided as to who made the allegation, which docket is implicated, when or where the alleged disclosures took place, how the docket was allegedly disclosed, and so on. Say this is a serious allegation against you. Now, as at the date of this statement, you could not respond particularly to the allegation that you had disclosed the docket to him. The subpoena speaks of a docket. Your answer seems to suggest that you are not able to respond to paragraph 2.6 because you haven't been given the details of the docket, which would suggest that you are not in a position to do so because there may very well be more than one docket. Is that where we land?
No.
Okay.
For me, your relationship and allegations that you disclosed to General Khan, a SAPS docket relating to an ongoing criminal investigation. I was seeking the details of this docket and who made the allegation, because on the 10th, I didn't have
apologies,
that.
My apologies, against General Khan himself.
Yes.
That is the important rider. So the allegation is about you disclosing a docket to General Khan regarding an investigation into General Khan's conduct. That's how precise it is. So your answer, when you say no particulars have been provided, I'm not clear what particulars, you say which docket is implicated, then it leaves with me the impression that there may be more than one docket implicated. You just want clarity as to which docket is implicated, where you disclosed to General Khan a docket relating to ongoing investigations against him. I'm struggling with your response at 20, and I would like you to clarify perhaps. Because the subpoena seems to suggest one docket.
Yes.
Your answer seems to suggest I can't pinpoint the docket because you don't give me the details of which docket is implicated, implying there may potentially be more than one.
On a point of correction,
Yes.
there isn't more than one.
Okay.
And it became, and at the time, I didn't recall disclosing a docket.
Yes.
When the evidence is then presented and witnesses testify, I'm replying to this affidavit on the 10th. And then people are testifying on the 10th. And it is only then I realize what is being referred to. And hence the third affidavit that was then made. Because I now have more details about the docket that is being alleged to have been disclosed.
So the effect, some effect of that is, had the witness not testified, you would still have not responded to the allegation that you handed a docket over. You wouldn't recall. I'm trying to understand, how does the testimony of the witnesses who appeared here on that Friday trigger your memory regarding a disclosure of a docket? You either know you did or you have never in your entire life. Where exactly were you on the 10th when you prepared this statement?
We were in consultations with
Yes,
yourself.
in
Yes.
your mind, in your headspace. Sorry, I meant. Had you ever disclosed a docket such as described at 2.6 or never at all?
That is why I needed my memory to be jogged.
Okay.
And then it'll take us into those aspects that we want to touch on in 3. And not because I don't want to...
In statement 3.
Statement 3.
Statement
Yes, statement
3.
Okay. Well, I think you've taken us up to your paragraph 21. I'm clarified. Thanks for that clarification, Chair. That would bring us to the end of the second statement.